Good morning, folks. How are we doing today? So I wanted to create this video, this live stream, to answer a question that I am continually getting. So I wanted to have this video so I can just kind of share the link with the folks that asked the question. And that is, how can you leverage your 401k to buy investment properties? Now, like always, I only can talk about what we've done, documented our journey in this wonderful book that's getting rave reviews. Thank you very much. Again, just our story of 15 years. But again, as we mentioned in the book, a key part of our investing journey of one rental at a time, hence the house one at a time, was leveraging our 401ks. Now, again, I can only share our experience. I can only share our experience and our options provided by our 401k at our employer. So definitely do yourself a favor and check out the rules, the processes at your firm, because I'm told that they are not all the same. So make sure you check with your employer what you can do. So here's the deal. For us, both of our employers, the wife and I, allowed us to borrow up to $50,000, or I think it was 50% of the value of your 401k at the company. So you had to be employed by the employer, right? Stay employed by your job. Have a balance of at least 100K if you wanted to borrow the full amount of $50,000. If you had 80K in there, you could borrow 40. If you had 60, you could borrow 30. I do think there was a minimum. I don't remember what it was, but let's assume for this video that it was 50 grand, right? You couldn't take a loan out unless you had $50,000 as a balance in your 401k. The other thing you could do is you could only, at least at the time, take one loan out at a time. So for this video, we're just going to assume the loan was $50,000. But when you took out the loan, you had the ability to pick your payback period. Did you want to pay back in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? I think it was up to 5 years, so up to 60 months, kind of like a car payment, right? So we used our 401k almost every year for almost a decade to buy investment properties. So this is how we did it. Again, we did it repeatedly. And one of the things that's key to this is, remember, we started living below our means, because when you go and you take a loan against your 401k, your net paycheck goes down. And if you pick a payback period of 1 year, your paycheck goes down significantly, frankly. So you have to know that ahead of time. So what we did is we leveraged the flexibility our employers offered with our 401ks. We would go right on, it was all done online. We would say, I want a $50,000 loan. We want to pay it back in 1 year. Again, 1 year could be, I think we were both paid twice a month. So that's 24 payments. Yes, we paid interest on the loan. I don't remember what they were, but they were probably 5 or 6%. So we paid ourselves interest on the loan. But that is something that we were comfortable doing. And again, remember, we were signing up for our net checks to be significantly lower. If you borrow $50,000, you agree to pay it back in 12 months and you're paid twice a month, that's 24 checks. So your net check could go down quite significantly, right? $2,000 plus. But that's what we did. We went to our 401k, we had the balance, we took a loan. It wasn't always 50K. I think the smallest loan I remember taking was like $28,000 because that's all I could. But that source of money, we chose to pay back every year because we were living below our means. We probably bought in excess of 12 to 15 houses from our 401k. We would take it out sometime February, March. We pay it back by next February or March, and we would do it again, and we'd do it again, and we'd do it again. So obviously, by leveraging the 401k, there's a couple of things I want you to know. A, check with your employer, because not all of them are the same. B, The only reason we were able to pay it back quickly, meaning 12 months, is because before we took it, we were already living below our means. Most folks don't have that luxury. I acknowledge that, but this is our story and how we did it. Even if you have to pick 60 months, right, where, that's 120 paychecks against a 50 grand, so that's probably $500 a month. It's still helpful, right? It's still a source of capital. There are rules, right? If you take 5 years and you leave halfway through, the debt is owed immediately or it's taxed. So there's lots of rules and regulations. You can get yourself in trouble. You can get taxed. You can have penalties. But again, I have been asked many, many times, have you leveraged your 401k? The answer is heck yes. We've leveraged it repeatedly. It was a strong part of our program. And again, we were lucky to have 401ks, both of us. So they were both sources of capital. They were huge sources like 2010, 11, 12, because prices were so low. We were able to get multiple properties with those 50K loans. So at the end of the day, I do want you to know, assuming your employer offers it, it is an option. Realize there are downsides. You're going to have to pay it back. There is an interest rate. If you leave your job, be careful because it's due or taxable with penalties. But yes, without question, one rental at a time, we would not be where we are at without leveraging our 401k repeatedly. So again, I just want to create this live stream because I think it's important. I've been asked by a lot of folks. There's been a lot of changes in the 401k world here recently. I no longer have a 401k, but I hear that you can take up to 100 grand under special circumstances if you're impacted. Make sure you check it out. You look, you understand the rules. The government is not, you don't want the penalty if you can avoid it. The other thing, again, just to full disclosure, when I left my employers, I did what is probably not advised for most, is I just cashed in my 401k. I took the hit and the penalty. I should have likely rolled it into a self-directed IRA. I didn't do it. I gave away a lot of money, but that's what I did. Got to own that. That's something I did. The other thing about a 401k we did is I always took the company match. If they matched 3%, I put in 3%. If they matched the whole thing, I put in the whole thing. I like the idea of a guaranteed return. So yeah, in the end of the day, the 401k is a tool, a vehicle that when used correctly can help you add one rental at a time. And I just wanted to make sure I have this video so I can share it with others when they ask that question. All right, everybody, take care. Thanks.